The Council of State have to meet for the consultation to take place. And as long as it's a statutory body and they have not met, you cannot stampede the president to appoint a substantive chairman of INEC. It's a very sensitive position that you do not stampede the president. And the president said, for the meantime, acting capacity, I will bring somebody to be in substantive position after the necessary thing have been done in accordance with the law.
One second.
Yes.
Okay, gentlemen.
That is the law.
Would it have been terrible for the president to have allowed Mr. Wali to continue?
Wouldn't it have been terrible?
Would it have been wrong for him to have allowed Mr. Wali to continue until the Council of State meets and he submits the name of Mrs. Zakari?
It's a very good question. INEC is a very sensitive position that you can never allow a vacuum to be created at any point in time. The man that handed over...
Was there a vacuum?
Yes, because you have just handed over and you don't name it. What is his name? As what? The INEC chairman that was leaving cannot appoint acting person. He does not have the power. What? Even the regulation he was talking about, he has not pointed to me any regulation of internal of INEC that says, let me finish, that says that the INEC chairman that was leaving has the right to appoint somebody in acting capacity. So the president felt that this is a very sensitive position for me to leave without a name. Somebody manning, somebody that is manning that position must have a name. What is that name? Acting until the due consultation is done. And until the confirmation of the Senate is done. And there's nothing wrong in that. Because somebody has laid a solid foundation. You don't bring any person at this juncture under a rush. Listen to me, sir. Under a rush for him to... Let me finish. You don't bring somebody... No, yes. You will talk. I will give you that time to talk. You don't allow any person at this juncture, by way of rushing, to come and occupy any position. Some names have been touted. Those names with integrity. Those names with antecedent. And the president to examine those...
You're saying the president could not have allowed Wali to continue?
He has to do, yes, at that time, because there's no name. There's no name given to that position.
No, sir. This is sentiment. Whether you like it or not, by July 21st, Waziri will go.
The president cannot extend her stay.
The president cannot by fiat, because even the letter purportedly appointing her as INEC chair also was an illegality.
Who is Waziri now? Because I don't know. It's Amina.
Zakari. By 21st of July, oh yes, integrity, you must say there's a standard agreement. By 21st of July, her tenure will expire.
That's right.
And she must leave. And so, whether she likes it or not, if the president does not appoint a substantive INEC chair, another national commissioner will fill that position until the last one leaves in December.
So who does the filling now? Let me find out. Who does the filling? Can you answer me, sir? I say, who does the filling of the acting until a substantive chairman? No, who does it? Who does the filling? No, sure. Who does the filling? You are telling me that the woman will leave on 21st. She will leave on 21st. If there is no substantive, if there is no substantive provision, who will now occupy that position?
By virtue of Section 160.
Yes.
By virtue of Section 160, occupying that position is an internal administrative routine of INEC.
Hold on. By virtue of Section 160. So what are you just saying? Section 154?
Section 154 is when the president is appointing
a chairman. So you're saying that for one chairman to move for the next person is an internal process. Is that what you're saying?
If there is no chairman appointed,
then INEC runs on its own.
What happens that the chairman that is leaving by virtue of Section 160, an internal administrative arrangement put in place, you hand over to a national chairman. That national chairman, call him whatever you want to call him, interim, acting, whatever. He is not a chairman recognized by the law. He's there as an internal arrangement.
Okay.
But here, that is why. Listen.
I've given you that time.
That is why when Jega was leaving to fulfill Section 154, he wrote to the president twice.
Okay, hold on. I hope the producers can help us get that film of Jega talking about how he's leaving and what he did before he's handing over to Mr. Wali. We'll take a moment and come back. During the break, we'll look at that film, what Jega said before he handed over to Mr. Wali, and then what transpired after that. Back in a moment.
I have done a letter now to Mr. President, informing him that my tenure was to expire yesterday, and under those circumstances, I have decided to hand over to one of the national commissioners who is still around until an acting or a substantive appointment is made. I propose to hand over to Ambassador Muhammad Ahmad Wali, who has a relatively longer span, at least longer than those who are living in July, although not as long as those who will be there until, I think, November or December. I will leave INEC not only gratified and thankful to Almighty Allah for ensuring that we had a successful tenure, but also thanking you most especially for your camaraderie and collaboration and partnership and teamwork. I wish all of you all the best, and I definitely will keep in touch. Yes. So thank you very much.
Okay, welcome back. That Professor Jega's statement probably answers Felix Chika's question. Felix Chika said, please, was Jega's departure an accident?
It was not. He wrote a letter, and you could hear him clearly say that he has written to the president, but he has not gotten any response. So he's going to hand over to Wali until acting or substantive position in appointment is made. He made that statement very clear. So, in other words, he's leaving it for the president. He said it now, until you heard him clearly. My brother, we are here. Nigerians here, he said, until acting or substantive. Are you following me, sir? Which means he had no right. He has no right whatsoever. And he didn't, and he knows that. And he didn't use it.
Let me.
Yes. Contradict him.
Jega is not the constitution. Jega cannot by fiat amend the constitution. If you heard what he also said, that he decided to hand over to somebody that will live later in time, probably to give the president a time within which to consult and appoint, because he also knows that by virtue of section 154, the president needs to consult and appoint. The president also, by virtue of that section 160 that I've been citing, INEC was created so that there will not be interference in the administrative procedure of INEC. And so when you now it's just like the chairman of INEC is traveling out, he hands over to somebody, and the president says, no, you can't hand over to that person, hand over to another person. It's an unnecessary interference. What the constitution empowers the president to do is to appoint a chairman, and in appointing that chairman, you cannot even do it alone. You must consult.
You read section. Hold on. You read section 160.
Yes.
Sub 1, subject to subsection 2 of this section. Any of the bodies may, with the approval of the president by rules or otherwise, regulate its own procedure. Hold on. With the approval of the president, regulate its own procedure or confer powers and impose duties on any officer or authority with the approval of the president. I hope that's there, right?
Yes.
For the purpose of discharging its function. In the exercise of any powers, that's subsection 2, of any powers under subsection. Hold on.
Finish this subsection 1. Finish it now.
Finish it.
No, with the approval of the president. He now said, provided, you didn't read the proviso, provided that in the case of INEC, it powers to make its own rules or regulation or otherwise regulate its own procedure shall not be subject to the approval or control of the